Potawatomi seasonal traditions are a very important part of the Potawatomi culture. So these are some of the things the Potawatomi does in the different seasons. In the winter, the tribe collects and boils maple syrup. In the spring, the tribe hunts buffalo in the prairie. In the summer, they move to villages by streams of fish. In the fall, they gather nuts and berries. They also hunt deer, rabbit, and bears. Fun fact, they had to collect 35 gallons of sugar from the maple tree to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. This is them hunting buffalo, and here's the caption. The Potawatomi is using spears and guns to hunt buffalo in the prairie. They use the skin off the buffalo for clothing and eat the meat. Okay, now this picture, caption. The tribe is living in a village by a stream of fish. Indians catch fish for food to eat in rivers and lakes. Caption. The Indians are collecting nuts and hunting rabbit and bears. Okay. Caption. Collecting and boiling maple syrup. They saved the maple syrup for times they really needed it. This is just a wiggle law. I'm going to share more about the Potawatomi tribal traditions. Potawatomi, like other tribes, is organized in clans. Potawatomi people married people outside their clan. When they married, they went to live with the husband's family. Potawatomi people also married other Aspians, like the Ojibwe people. The marriages were important because in hard times, the Potawatomi families and villages could depend on many family members. The seasons were and still are important to the Potawatomi people. The Potawatomi people lived in big villages near forests, lakes, rivers, or streams. There would always be fresh fish. In the fall, men hunted for deer, bears, and much more. Women and children gathered nuts and fruit. In the colder months, they stayed indoors more, but men still hunted a little. They also built wigwams in smaller camps, so few people would depend on limited food supply in one place. Winter meant time for repairing traps, doing crafts, and telling stories. In March, they collected boiled maple sugar. It was time to spear fish. Spring months got busier and busier. People came together in larger groups to hunt together.
In the early days, the British destroyed the French. The Potawatomi attacked the British and successfully destroyed about 12 British forts. The British saw that the Potawatomi tribe was somewhat powerful and signed a peace treaty with them. Before the French were defeated, the Potawatomi were trading with them. But to get to Montreal, where the French were, they had to get past the Five Nations. That's how they became enemies with them. The Five Nations planned several attacks, but the Potawatomi defended themselves and their families. Fun fact, in 1701, the Potawatomi had 300 million acres. I'm also giving up land. The Potawatomi life changed forever after the War of 1812 because the U.S. government for more than 8 years forced the Potawatomi to give up land. U.S. Indian agents picked out chiefs that did not have the authority to sign treaties or did not speak up for tribe members. Non-Indians came and stayed. By 1829, the Potawatomi had sold nearly 70% of their land. The Potawatomi couldn't keep the land because they had barely any money at that time.
This is how the Potawatomi tribe were dealing with non-Indians in 1862.
In 1862, an Indian revolt sparked panic among non-Indian settlers in Wisconsin. The settlers turned against all Indians. Some Potawatomi moved farther north and hid among the forests. For the Potawatomi who were forced west, the trip began known as the Trail of Death. According to oral history, Potawatomi warriors were placed in chains, crammed in wagons, and denied food and water until the end of each day's march. Any tribal member caught trying to give food or water was severely punished. A small number escaped to Mexico, where they joined the Kickapoo. At the beginning of the 1900s, the Potawatomi bands were scattered across 7 states. The bands in northeastern Wisconsin were poor because they had refused to move west. The U.S. government refused to give them land and yearly amounts of money promised by treaty. Potawatomi women worked in homes of non-Indian families. Potawatomi men found work as lumberjacks. Entire families sometimes hired themselves out as migrant workers, picking potatoes and berries for white farmers. Some saved enough to buy bits of their homeland, but most Potawatomi could not afford it. I drew a picture of the Trail of Death.
Let me see. Can I see the picture? Can I see the picture? Shh. I'm going to be sharing about Potawatomi life today. In the late 1980s, the tribe signed an agreement with the state of Wisconsin. The agreement established a casino between Wabeno and Carter in Forest County, and a bingo hall on its ancestral land in the heart of Milwaukee. Eventually, the bingo hall expanded into a casino. The casino has made a lot of money for the tribe. For the first time in several hundred years, the Potawatomi people have been able to build a foundation for the future. The tribe also constructed a hotel and a conference center next to its casino in Carter. Now the tribe has other businesses such as a construction company, a logging cooperative, a convenience store, and a gas station. The Potawatomi even established a red deer herd to provide pension to restaurants and other places. The Potawatomi also give money to support the Indian School of Milwaukee. The Potawatomi nations hope to provide services that continue to improve the lives of its 1,000 members. Half of the people live on the reservation. The tribe wants to improve housing for all tribal members and find jobs for all who are able to work. The Potawatomi Nation has also created an environmental department in order to improve and protect its landscape.